What up, people? It's your boy. Welcome to another edition of Just My Opinion podcast. And breaking news. This just came down the news wire. A lot of people have been, a lot of bloggers, just bloggers, not those vlogger guys that make vlogs and stuff. Blogs and sports outlets, sports personalities, influencers, wherever y'all want to label these individuals, are speculating the possibility of LeBron James leaving the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, currently, the Los Angeles Lakers do not look good. Um, they do not look like they're going to get a top spot in the playoffs. They do not look like they're going to get like a mid situation where maybe they'll get the fourth or fifth or maybe the sixth spot. Currently, as of right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are fighting for their playoffs lives. Best case scenario, well, worst case scenario, they could possibly be in the play-in tournament. And that's probably going to be the only way they're going to be able to get into the playoffs. And best case scenario, they'll start their if they start winning as of right now, they could probably face either whoever is the best in the West between the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. The Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, I don't think, as of right now, how the Lakers roster is constructed, they don't have a chance of winning a series with either of those two teams. And if they are lucky enough, due to maybe COVID reasons or a severe injury with these top level teams that are in the West, if they are lucky enough to get past these teams and they make it to the NBA Finals, I don't think they have what it takes to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets. I just think those two teams, the struggle is going to be real for the Los Angeles Lakers. So a lot of people are speculating that the Lakers, as the front office, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, the Los Angeles Lakers front office are in scramble mode to try to get younger and better and explore possibilities of trading certain assets that they have on their roster. Now, the obvious, everyone wants Russell Westbrook to be traded. They want Russell Westbrook to be gone. But Russell Westbrook has 2 years remaining on that contract that, the Oklahoma City Thunder gave him. I think he's got 39 million this year and 41 or 42 the year after that. And that contract, it's going to be very hard for them to move Russell Westbrook. Now, if Russell Westbrook was a great player that, maybe if you put him on a contending team, they might get better as far as playoff positioning goes. Some teams may want a Russell Westbrook if he was that type of player. Russell Westbrook, as of right now, who has a contract that is going to be hard to trade off your team. And to make matters even worse, Russell Westbrook has become a turnover machine. Like he's always been a turnover machine, and he's unwilling to flow with the team. Let's just put it that way: flow with the team. So that Russell Westbrook is like an anchor. And the Los Angeles Lakers are this cruise ship. And this cruise ship is not going anywhere until they get that anchor up from the bottom of the ocean. So they're stuck. The possibilities of Russell Westbrook being anybody wanting Russell Westbrook is slim and none. There is a rumor out there floating around that maybe the Houston Rockets would take Russell Westbrook off the Lakers' hands, and in return, they get John Wall. But why would the Rockets do that? Been there, done that. They had Russell Westbrook over there. They did not like Russell Westbrook and his contract. Plus, John Wall, I believe, has 1 year remaining on that contract. So why would Houston, unless you're going to give up Russell Westbrook and a gang full of picks and some young talented players that the Rockets may want, which, by the way, the Rockets don't need, that trade is not going to work. And plus, the Lakers don't even have a pick this year. That makes it even worse. People are talking about the possibility of trading Anthony Davis. Now people are coming to the realization that I've been trying to tell people for the past couple of years. Anthony Davis cannot be consistently healthy. He's always going to be a player that's going to miss a ton of games. He's been doing it ever since his days with the New Orleans Pelicans. Why stop now? Everyone talks about the potential of Anthony Davis on your court, but the best ability to me is availability, and Anthony Davis is failing to prove that. Plus his unwillingness to play the center spot. Anthony Davis is the best big man for the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me repeat that one more time. Anthony Davis is the best big man for the Los Angeles Lakers. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's way better than Dwight Howard, even though Dwight Howard, and the reason why he's better than Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard is older. The days of building around Dwight Howard, those days are gone. Okay, he's a role player and he understands his role and he understands that. The Lakers have to have a piece. If they want to turn this thing around, they have to have pieces that other teams won't. They have to have a gang full of draft picks that other teams won't, and they have neither nor. They're an older team, and I did not like the construction of this team. I was telling you guys all during the offseason, none of these pieces do not fit. They don't match, particularly when you look at the coach, Frank Vogel. He's a defensive-minded coach, and a defensive-minded coach, you're going to reward him with players that don't want to play defense. Carmelo Anthony does not want to play defense. Russell Westbrook does not want to play defense. LeBron James conserves his energy on the defensive side utilize that energy for the offense because he wants to pad his stats and he has a lot of other ambitions outside of winning a championship. He's not a two-way player no more. So you got that going on. And then you got a bunch of shooters that are streaky at best, but they're not the best defenders. And that's how you reward Frank Vogel. You reward Frank Vogel by giving him players that are offensive-minded. They wake up thinking offense. They sleep thinking offense. And nobody cares about playing defense. And that's how you reward Frank Vogel. The Lakers, I could be wrong on this, the Los Angeles Lakers, as of right now, are 16-16. Folks, name me a team that starts off 16-16 that won a title. Go ahead, I'll wait. The Los Angeles Lakers are now a borderline team. They're not, you can't say to the Los Angeles Lakers like you say to the Brooklyn Nets. Well, they may be struggling, but they're beating the team that they're supposed to beat. And they're in a lot of dog fights with the elite teams. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Check their resume, check the box score. check the standings. The Los Angeles Lakers struggle with the teams that they're supposed to be, and they even struggle more with the teams that okay, we're back. Had my alarm on. Okay. So yeah, the Los Angeles Lakers, the struggle is real. And there's an article floating around that suggests that uh there may be a possibility where LeBron wants to go back to Cleveland. He likes what the Cleveland Cavaliers have done for the past couple of years. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers past history for the past couple of seasons. Well, three or 4 years to be exact. Ever since LeBron James left them high and dry. Remember when LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers high and dry? They did not have any draft picks. They had a bunch of players that they done overpaid because that's who LeBron James wanted. Those were LeBron James guys, so they wanted to reward LeBron James guys. And LeBron James left them to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Cleveland Cavaliers were on scramble mode, getting rid of a lot of contracts that a lot of teams did not want. They lost a lot of capital in their draft picks. They didn't have a lot of draft picks for the for at least 2 years. And now the Cleveland Cavaliers have turned it around. Their salary cap is a whole lot better than it was 3 years ago. They gotten rid of all the players of LeBron James, friends that LeBron James wanted. They overspent and got those players, and then they were stuck with those players. They got rid of those players, and they're doing a lot better. They're making smart selections in the NBA draft, and they have the capital, they have the salary cap space to the point of if LeBron James really wants to be traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, they will have to give up something to get LeBron James, and they wouldn't have to give up their whole entire team to get LeBron James because LeBron James has already won his ring with the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James has done it all. So technically, LeBron James can hold the Los Angeles Lakers hostage by saying, "Look, y'all don't do this trade. I can just fake an injury and be out for the rest of the season, or just retire, and you guys can just be paying me as I'm in retirement." Somebody messaged me. I don't know what those messages are, but it is what it is. All right. In the comment section. So LeBron James has the capital and the say so to orchestrate a trade like that. Now, in this article, they suggesting that LeBron James is thinking about leaving the Los Angeles Lakers because they're uh, they're done on the salary cap. They don't have enough young assets to flip to get better assets. Uh, and there's nothing that the Los Angeles Lakers can do to get them out of this hole other than try to dig themselves out of this hole with what they have on the table or what they have on the roster. there's nothing there's not a quick fix for the Los Angeles Lakers, put it that way. So this article suggests that LeBron James may be leaving. A lot of people were saying that LeBron James may be leaving Los Angeles, but this article states that Rich Paul says that don't believe the hype. It's all cap. LeBron James is not interested in leaving the Los Angeles Lakers. He wants to play it out and play it through. And there is no conversations nor communications with LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers organization, or LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers organization, or Jenny Buss or Rob Pelinka, suggesting LeBron James is fed up. He's done. He wants to, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. He does not want to come home. He doesn't want to go back to Cleveland. That's what this article is saying, and they got it straight from Rich Paul's mouth. Okay. Now, I'm not an insider. I don't know the inner workings of what was said and what was not said, but I'm going to just speculate on why Rich Paul is pretty much saying that, hold up, stop. LeBron James is not going back. Is not interested in going back to Cleveland. Here's why I believe Rich Paul, but I feel like Rich Paul is not telling us the whole story. I feel like if there was an opportunity that the Cleveland Cavaliers wanted LeBron, were begging for LeBron to come home, if there was a scenario, sort of say, of that possibility, then all the stuff that people have been saying for the past couple of days will be validated. I think LeBron James is thinking about that, but he does not want to be the first one putting that out there in the atmosphere. He sort of wants Cleveland to put that out in the atmosphere. And if Cleveland wanted LeBron James, then LeBron James would talk about it. He would say yay or nay on that possibility. And I feel like deep down inside, LeBron James wants to go back to Cleveland because the grass is greener on the other side. Cleveland has a better salary cap situation than the Los Angeles Lakers. Plus, Cleveland has better players, talented players that they can keep or flip. And if you look at the East is really not the beast anymore. Okay, the Brooklyn Nets, they're trying to figure things out. You got Kyrie Irving. You got Kyrie Irving talking about coming back, but only playing selective games. You got the Milwaukee Bucks. They're doing good, but they're not raising havoc in the East. You're talking about the Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls. But other than that, that's pretty much it in the East. Yeah, you got the Boston Celtics, okay, kicking up dust here and there, but they're not blowing it up in the East like they are in the West, where you got two juggernaut teams in the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, and and the Los Angeles Lakers are not going to beat those teams. You can forget it. Even if they somehow, some way get rid of Russell Westbrook, they're still not good enough to beat those two teams I just mentioned. You can just cancel that, all right? So, if the Cleveland Cavaliers were promoted, that, hey, we're interested in LeBron James, what would it take to get LeBron James back to Cleveland? LeBron James would be on board with that. I feel like that's one of the reasons why LeBron James is not really pushing this, because LeBron James don't want to be the one that's saying, yeah, I want to go back to Cleveland, because he know he's going to get blasted on the front pages. He's going to get blasted on social media, and he's going to take a huge hit to his resume. People are going to start saying, well, man, people are going to start saying, well, maybe he's not the GOAT. Because the only time he's the GOAT is if he goes to a team that has plenty salary cap space, have a multitude of draft picks, have talent where he just goes to the team and then he wants these trades to get other talented players and build his super team. The only time LeBron James is good is when he's around when he builds a super team. Nothing against super teams. I don't want anybody to put a leak, but I'm just saying there's a gift and a curse in having a super team. Yes, you'll get instant success, but how long is that success? Look at the Miami Heat. They only won 2 titles when LeBron went there. Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. They only won 1 title when he was there. Look at the Los Angeles Lakers. They only won 1 title in a shortened season when they got Anthony Davis. All 3 of those teams had LeBron James, had arguably the greatest player on the planet, the facilitator. You guys want to label him as the GOAT. Have nothing against none of that. But the only reason why LeBron James got a lot of success from those 3 teams was simple, because they gave up their salary cap. They gave up their future draft picks. They gave up on their salary cap to get LeBron James other players that could have been franchise players on other teams. Dwayne Wade was a franchise player with the Miami Heat. Chris Bosh was already a franchise player with the Toronto Raptors. LeBron James was already a franchise player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They only gotten 2 titles in that span. LeBron James then took his talents back to Cleveland. Kyrie Irving was a young, up-and-coming franchise player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't care if you like him or don't like him. That's not what this argument is about. But he was a franchise player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love was a franchise player for the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeBron James was a franchise player for Cleveland and Miami. Won 1 title there. Went to the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis is a franchise player that they moved heaven and hell to get, and they only managed to win 1 title. But look, when the end is near or when the end is coming, when you don't have enough salary cap space to keep doing what you've been doing, which was keep flipping pieces, keep adding more and more on top of that super team. Because you need players, you need some decent players, and those players don't come cheap. And you saw that erosion with the Miami Heat. You saw that erosion with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're starting to see the erosion with the Los Angeles Lakers. And when you don't have enough talented pieces and you don't have enough draft picks, you don't have players that other teams would want, then it's time to move on. And that's where the Los Angeles Lakers are right now. They're at the end of the road. They're like that Boyz II Men song. On the end of the road. That's where they're at. They're at the end of the road. Okay? You done mortgaged away all your future draft picks. You done flipped all the talented players that you had just to get Anthony Davis. Now you have nothing that other teams won't, unless y'all are willing to trade Anthony Davis or LeBron James. And even if, let's just say hypothetically, they trade Anthony Davis, what on God's green earth you're going to get for Anthony Davis? Dame Dollar? Are you getting Dame Dollar for Anthony Davis straight up? I don't think so. Portland would say, yeah, we'll just take our chances in the offseason. If Dame Dollar goes, Dame Dollar just goes. We just don't get him for nothing. But we'd rather have nothing than an injury-prone center that wants to play the wings. Well, we don't want that. We don't want those problems. What about Philadelphia 76ers? Do you think they want Anthony Davis? Oh, we already got a big man. Why would we want Anthony Davis? We'll just deal with what we would just deal with what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, we know Ben Simmons don't want to play here, but we rather just give up Ben Simmons for nothing than talk about a trade scenario with the Lakers where we get Anthony Davis. Nah, we good, fam. We good. The Boston Celtics, hell, 3 years ago, the Boston Celtics was interested in Anthony Davis. Not anymore. And we just deal with what we got with the Boston Celtics. We good. We good. We all right. And that's where the Los Angeles Lakers are. The Los Angeles Lakers are stuck in the same scenario as the final year when LeBron James was with the Miami Heat. The final year when LeBron James was stuck in Cleveland in his second stint, and they couldn't move no more pieces. They sold their draft pick, their capital, the salary cap. They did everything imaginable, and now they can't do nothing. And that's what the Los Angeles Lakers are. I don't care who you have in the front office. You're not going to be able to flip Russell Westbrook that easy. Who wants him or his contract? He has 2 years on that contract. Now, maybe next year you'll be able to flip a Russell Westbrook because then teams will be looking at the salary cap capital. They'll just trade him because he's got 1 year remaining, and then they'll probably walk up to Russell Westbrook and say, "Hey, you're interested in a buyout?" Okay, that helps a team for their salary cap. That Siakam trade that a lot of people are talking about that the Lakers are desperately seeking Susan are trying to do, even if somehow, some way they get Siakam, do y'all think that's the answer? DeMar DeRozan was a perfect scenario. The Lakers were supposed to get him last year during the trade deadline. The Lakers were supposed to get him during the offseason, but the Bulls stole him. LeBron and Melo to the New York Knicks? No. That's not going to happen, fam. That's not going to happen. Now, if the New York Knicks are desperate, not smart, Russell Westbrook. Now, somehow, some way you can get them to, if you can convince them to get Russell Westbrook, and in return, you take their trash. It's essentially a trade where, okay, our trash is Russell Westbrook. Can y'all please take our trash and we'll take your trash? Kemba Walker is definitely going to be in that trash can along with some other players. Now, I don't know if the coach there is going to be interested in Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook is a walking turnover machine, similar to what Kemba Walker was. Russell Westbrook is streaky at best in scoring, similar to what Kemba Walker was. And Russell Westbrook is not interested in playing defense. And I don't think the coach there is going to be interested in Russell Westbrook. But hey, you got him for, hey, you really draft. If you do that trade, it's more of a salary dump trade. It's more. If you do that trade, that's both teams really not getting better, but they're trash. Okay, you give me your trash, you take my trash, and we all good. That's a possibility. But anyway, to make a long story short and a short story shorter, Rich Paul flatly denies that that LeBron James is not interested in going back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he released a statement talking about it. Randy Bucks and Noel for LeBron and Melo. We have 8 kids. LeBron wins a ring in New York. He's a GOAT. Now, okay, let's just talk about your trade. Let's talk about the first trade before we get up out of here. LeBron and Melo to New York. I would do that trade because if you give me LeBron and Melo, I will just give you draft picks, which the New York Knicks have, and you're going to have to sweeten that pot. You're going to have to give up some of your young assets. I don't want your trash. Okay? I don't want your damn trash. So, the New York Knicks are going to have to sweeten that pot if they want LeBron James and Melo. But the coach there, I'm not sure if that coach wants Melo. I'm pretty sure he'll probably take LeBron. Well, anybody would take LeBron. And if you got Melo, if somehow, some way you get Melo and LeBron in this trade, let's just go ahead and say this trade is official. You have LeBron and Melo in New York with whatever remaining talent you have. They could make it to the finals. They have enough there to beat the Bucks, in my opinion, and they have enough there to beat Brooklyn. All right. Yeah, Thibodeau. I keep forgetting his name. He works well with vets, but he also likes to work well with vets that is open to play defense. I think LeBron is open to play defense. I think Carmelo in his later years is open for defense. But yeah, that's a good trade. I mean, but I don't. Okay, here's why I don't think it's going to work, because the Knicks really won't. Thibodeau and the Knicks really think that they already have the pieces to go into the postseason. All right. And Thibodeau and the Knicks want to get rid of their trash, which is Kemba Walker and some other pieces there. And they're unwilling to give up on their younger talent. You're going to have to give up on your younger talent if you want LeBron and Melo. You're going to have to give up more. Well, that's enough for me, guys. I have to go. I got to get ready for work. I hope everyone has a productive day. I hope everyone have a lovely Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day. I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces. I'll talk to you guys later. But I like that trade. I like the concept. I just don't. The Lakers going to want more. They're going to want more. Okay, trash isn't enough. They're going to want all your young assets, okay, and your draft picks, because they got to make up for the draft of the trade with AD when they gave up their young assets. So yeah, they're gonna want a lot. Okay, but I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll talk about that trade a little bit later next week. It's your boy. I'm about here.